Yeah, so here we are, Friday. What the hell happened this week? It was mostly all about these pop-up lights. I had them in and out about 100 times, and I really do understand how they work now. So, and they will work. It's just that they're 40 years old and they take a little bit of tuning up. So we'll get, they do work now, and I'm mostly happy with them. Stick around, you'll see what happened to them. Kind of a short this week because I was went on a bit of a road trip over to Nova Scotia. Yeah, Nova Scotia. Oh, the boss wants in. And picked up one of these things for my tractor. And got it hooked up. Went yesterday, got it hooked up, and seemed to work all right. So I'll do a little bit more mowing today out in the front field there, where the blueberries grow. Now, one of these days I'll do up a bit of a video about that and see how things are with it. But for now, another week done on the TR7, and things seem to be pretty good. So enjoy it, and I'll see you next week, along with the master here. Yeah. Okay, bye for now. Yeah, so there, back to it. So this is the reverse light, which isn't very bright, but I could likely put a brighter bulb in there. Brake light, driving light, and signal light. So that works on that side, and then the marker light in here, right? So, cool. Now, next thing is to get that other side together. Yeah, so, where am I? A couple of, bruises on this from previous use. Anyhow, pretty tough to find this piece, so I've pieced it back together as best I can. Once it's on the car, well, it'll look shitty, but we'll just see. Now I've got the foam tape on here, done all the way, and this thing here should just go on there. I'll just check it out. Yeah, there, that went on all right. I had to put a couple of new bolts in over here, and they seem to fit okay. Maybe I'll put a bit more foam tape around that edge there just to make it a bit happier. We'll just see. Yeah, there's the other side now working. So, over here, brake light here, driving light there, reverse light there, signal light there. Works all. And marker light on that side. Yay, they all work. This side here, no signal light going because I don't have it turned on. Brake light, driving light, reverse light, dim. I can get a new bulb for there, I think. Then I'm going to shut off the blinker. I'll go over here and shut off the blinker. Hey, and I think the fuel gauge is working, just in case you're interested in that. Because I've got the ignition turned on, and the fuel gauge just comes up a little tiny bit because it's mostly empty. Voltage gauge is saying it's low, or using volts. Clock is working. So I'll turn that off, right? Turn on the emergency flashers. I think that's them there, flashing. Yeah, so the two front ones work. And the two back ones work. I like that speed of flasher better than I like the speed on the other one. But don't know where that flasher is. I'll get a slower flasher for the other side. Now I think I'll get a better bulb for in here. I'll actually go and steal one out of the Mercedes. That's like robbing Peter to pay Paul, but Mercedes isn't going too far today. Yeah, now everything's blinking. So those are the emergency flashers, but they also are the same as the signal lights, right? So reverse, driving light, brake light, signal light. reverse, driving light, braking light, signal light. Now I'll turn off the brake light, so I'll unhook them and just make sure that I've got that. Them both the same. One side. You never know what'll happen, eh? One side is one side and the other side is the other side. So I'll unhook them. Can't even unhook them. I got them hooked in too tight there. There. Brake lights are unhooked. Maybe. We'll just see now. Yeah, so there. There, that's better. So now, driving light, marker light, reverse light, signal light, driving light, marker light, yeah. They generate a lot of heat, those things. Reverse light, signal light. So that's good. That's all the signal lights and things working. Yeah, even the reverse lights. So everything's right. What do you know? Yeah, now, next thing, brake light switch, right? So it's right down here in amongst all those wires. So I've got this thing here hooked onto it so that it'll beep if the brake light switch is working. So I'll just check this out. Here we go. Oh, I gotta get my foot over there, right? So that sounds like the brake light switch is working. Anyhow, now, next I'll see about hooking the wires to it and see if the brake lights in the back work when I press the pedal. Yeah, now I'm gonna walk around. I've got the camera running. Walk around and see if the brake lights actually come on. So you guys get to see it, but I don't. I have to go and check the film. They're pressing brake, letting brake off. Pressing brake, letting brake off. Pressing brake, letting brake off. Okay. You have to have the key turned on for the brake lights to work. There, I'll review the film. Well, now that was successful. So all that stuff works. Isn't that something? I think what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go and get the rubber that fits underneath the rubber that goes around the back of the trunk here, because this is pressing down and scratching the paint on me, which is, you know, I'm great at scratching the paint up. Then next, after that, I'll get that electrical stuff secured. Yeah, so there now I've put the rubber back on here. And it seems to all come down pretty good everywhere. So that likely will seal. Down at this end here, it doesn't work as well, so I might just cut it here and see if I can get another piece to go from here to here. Just graft that in there. Anyhow, but then when you let it down, now, and close it, oops, there, it's closed, right? That seam there is just right. And this seam here is just right. Now it's a little bit wider here. This side here is just 1/8 of an inch wider than this side. And I tried moving it over, but that's kind of where it is. I imagine I could give it a little bit of a nudge over. Just give me a minute here. Yeah, no, that's how it wants to stay. And I don't want to dick with it anymore because all these other gaps seem to be pretty good. I'll just take a look at the back gap here. Yeah, that looks like at this end here, it gets a little bit wider in the middle, but at this end and at that end, they're both the same. And that's because the door goes like that, eh? Anyway, I'll be happy with that. I'm not gonna dick with it. It needs to ride a bit high right there. I wonder if I can get that to come down a bit. Didn't notice that before. I don't think there was a dent in it. No, there's no bend in it. It's just riding a bit high there. And this side here, it rides flat. So is that because of the rubber underneath there pushing up a bit. I'll check it out. Yeah, it just rides a bit high on that side right there. Don't know why. Because it all fits perfectly here. Feels nice there. That side there fits nice. I have to drill a hole to put the antenna in, but I may never do that. I may just, you know, not have, maybe I'll mount an antenna inside the car somewhere. Because mostly if you listen to FM anyhow, so you don't need to have a big antenna sticking out the back of the car, right? And I kind of like that clean look without the antenna, so I'll think about that. Anyway, now next, what was I going to do next? I forget. Oh yeah, next I was going to just see about putting these side lights on here. I got a set of side lights to go on both sides here. And then I've got that plastic trim that goes around the front. So those things are coming. But first, I forgot, I bought some new certified halogen light bulbs. So I'm going to stick one in here. They say when you change light bulbs, halogen bulbs, change them both at the same time, and that way they're balanced. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so I'll change them both. So here now, there's something going on. So when you pull on this thing here, it's supposed to flash the high beams, right? So there you go. And it looks like this side on the left here is flashing the low beam. Like that definitely looks like high beam over on that side. This side here looks like low beam. So now, I'll turn on the lights, right? There's, headlights are on. And that side there, the side over there, that's low beam. This side here, I think that's high beam. Now if I turn it, watch. That should be high beam now, but this side is low beam. That side is high beam, right? That's low on the right, high on the left. Low on the left, high on the right. What happened there? I don't know, but I'll sort it out. And while I have it apart changing that headlight, I'll just change those wires around somehow. Don't know how, but it's the way it is. Yeah, there now I just cheated a little bit because blue and white used to be here. Blue and red used to be here, so I just switched the ends around inside the connector here. And I've obviously made a mistake somewhere else along the line, but corrected at the end. Yeah, there now, that's low beams, left and right both low. High beams, left and right both high. And then the flasher gets everything going, right? So that's correct now. Well, the wiring colors are not correct, but everything outside of it is correct. Yeah, there now for the, about the 10th time now the headlights are in again and working properly. This here, I'll get that tomorrow. It's quitting time. So, did all right today. Got the rear lights installed and working. Got the rubber around that. So this looks good here. And next thing is those lights up there and then that trim. I'll put that trim on. Then I might put the bumper, I'll get the bumper out here. Maybe I'll bring the bumper in from the front, for the front tonight. And then I'll see about cleaning it up tomorrow when it's warmed up. Anyway, there you go. Yeah, so I think I'll mount these lights in here, but that requires some work before I do that. I need a couple of things here to screw into. Hey, and I have to put those black things on. So I'll clean them up and I'll put them on. I'll show you these things here. Of course, that's the other side. These things here. So they go on and then the light goes on in between, but they'll require Well, I gotta get rid of the spiders, right? Anyway, that's on the list today. I also brought that in. That's the front bumper. And it hasn't been on the car for a long, long time. It wasn't on the car when I brought it home. So I'll see what has to happen with that. Yeah, so no black screws, but there is now. Just let them dry for a while. Yeah, now there's that trim on there. It's not a perfect fit here. I guess it likely never was. Then I didn't check when I was taking it apart. But I got a holder in here. There's actually one of these things here. Down to my last 100,000 of these things. Quite handy. So I used them all the way along here. And this side here is a little bit better fit, but not a perfect fit either. So that's the way it is. Now the next thing is to see about getting the bumper on there. But I gotta lift the thing way up in the air and then clean up the bumper and see if I can get the mounts figured out. Then we'll see about getting it on there. Yeah, and I checked those lights do work. Here, I'll show you. There, see? So all the lights everywhere seem to work, which is quite nice. There. Tony's in inspecting. You better not put any more kitty prints all over my car. The kitty prints that he put in here, I did get out. They're gone. There, go on out. Go on out and inspect outside, kitty cat. There we go. So now here's the bumper. It needs some cleaning up. It was painted one time without complete tape. Then I'll figure out what's going on underneath there to see how it goes on. Yeah, so the car only came with one of these, which is the hanger for the front bumper. Now, I need two. So I'm going to take a piece. I've got 16 gauge. This is sort of 1/8 inch steel there, so that 16 gauge times 2 makes 1/8 inch. So I got to take a piece, spot weld it together, and then mold it to make it look like that. This is actually not a very difficult piece. Oops, mold it to make it look like that. It's not that difficult a piece to make, eh? Here we are. Spot welding is kind of cool. So I'll show you this. This is something that is all new to me too. Excuse me. Anyway, I think I told you this before, but one day last year, these were on sale down at Princess's Auto. So I went and bought it, but I didn't have a plug for it. It didn't come with a plug. You got to buy a plug extra. I finally went and got a plug after watching Rusty Beauties one day. He was using his on there. Same thing, and it worked really well. So what you do, there's a little switch right here that gives it the power. You put your tongs together, hold them tight, give it a press, and then that's a weld. Really quite cool. Two welds. So I'll go across, give it a number of welds. It's very heavy to hold on to. Shouldn't have anything flammable underneath it because it throws sparks down there sometimes. Yeah, whoops, got a bit ahead of you. So here's the piece that I made, right? It's got this lip going down there, and then this comes back and it's got that little bit of a thing there. Then there's 3 holes in it. They'll get from that side they get bolts. These will be the mounting bolts to go into the car. Now I'll make these, I've got the bumper mounted on the car temporarily. So I was able to put it on that stand and then get it on. Now I'll take off the stand, the things that are on there, and see if I can figure out where these things here should fit on them. And that'll be the next step. Yeah, there I cleaned up the inside of the bumper, and then I put a coat of paint on it, and I painted my new little piece that I made. And the other pieces are soaking in the rust remover. They can sit there overnight, and then tomorrow I'll sort of build a bracket to hold it together, hold it all up, and it might work out okay. We'll just see how it works out. Anyway, we'll see what happens. That's back on it here this morning. I'm working on mounting for this bumper. I had one complete mounting, right? But it wasn't 100% complete because it was old and wore out. Now I dropped it on the floor because it was too hot to touch. Where is it, I wonder? Hang on, I'll find it. Yeah, so there's the mounting there. Now, out of the factory, it was, I might have to do some help on that thing yet. Don't think those spot welds held. Anyway, out of the factory there was this rubber block in there, and it was vulcanized to both sides of this thing. So what I did is I just put a metal block in there, and then hopefully that'll be all right. We'll just see if it starts rattling and banging around. I'll order up new mounts if I can. But that seems to be the way that it came from the factory, was mounted together, and then you put it onto both sides and adjust it. There's lots of adjustment up there. So I'm just working on the second one right now here. Get it mounted up and see how we go. Oh, there you go. So there's the mounts are on there now. There's two bolts on the back here. One goes down through that hole, and one back there. And this is all adjustable back and forth there. Same thing here. This one here I didn't do such a great job on, but I'll be able to get in there with a wrench, I think. A little skinny wrench like that. These bolts, those two bolts, there's one like that and one like that. They're both welded in, so you can put them through there and put a nut and a washer on it up here. One there and one there. And then this thing here, which goes in right into that hole there and kind of centers everything, we hope. But it's also adjustable. I haven't loosened it, and I'm not going to because I think it's in the right spot or close to it. If it's, I'll put it up and see if I can fit it on there, and then see where we go from there. Yeah, there now. Now the front bumper was laying on the ground when I picked this car up, and it looked like there was a whole potato farm in it. Now it seems that it hangs a bit on this side here, and I don't know that I can do anything about that unless I get into some radical bending there. I don't know. I'll think about it for a bit, but I bet you it got, when it was this side here was crumpled, and I bet you it got bent during that happening. So I won't do anything about it right now, but I'll think about it. Anyway, now I can put the signal lights in, and we'll see how it goes from there. Actually, from the front, it looks not bad. Well, can you see that? Yeah, there you are. Starting to look like a complete car. Yeah, so I was recording nothing, right? Talking away and the recording wasn't going. So I've got the emergency flashers going. That one's running. And that one's running on the front. Now on the back, they worked yesterday, so we're hoping they work today. Yeah, they're both working now. Next would be signal lights, right? Hang on, got to turn off the emergency flashers, right? I'll turn on signal light right hand side. Flashing away. I think I need a heavy duty flasher because that one there's a little bit fast for my taste. That one's flashing. Now flip to the other side. That's the driver's side or left hand side. And flashing on the driver's side here. Now, next is, what's next? What's next? Parking lights, right? So, that's that switch there. Should be parking lights on there now. There's side light. Yeah, parking light. Parking light. Side light. Side light. Parking light. Parking light. Side light. Now, headlights. So the parking lights should be still on with the headlights. So there, again, side lights, parking light, bright light, parking light, bright light, side light, and that all looks pretty good. Side light, parking light, side light. So there, that's all working okay. Turn off the headlights, and the clock is still going. And there, that seems to be everything's okay. Yeah, there's enough for today. So I'll give up today. Now I looked at some pictures of other TR7s, and it seems that that's the way that most of them look, is just like that. So that side is okay. I'll do some cleaning up on the bumper. This side here, it hangs a little bit, but only like a little bit. So I'll see if I can deal with that. I might be able to put a spacer behind the top thing up there, and that'll twist it up a bit maybe. We'll see. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow, I hope. Yeah, back at, enough of that snow moving, back at the car here. Anyway, so I ordered a new flasher thing. That's the flasher thing, whatever you call that. And it goes at the right speed. There's none of this such an exciting thing that the other one had. You couldn't even keep up with it. So that's the left-hand side seems to be click, click, clicking, and the right-hand side seems to be click, click, clicking. Pretty sure the back one works here too. Yep, that's going just fine. Now I'll just check out the other side here. Yeah, so all the flasher lights work properly now. I'll just check and see if that's impacted the emergency flashers in any way. I don't think it would have, but no, a different flasher runs them, and there you can see it going there. And I'm pretty sure that everything here is the way it should be. Yep. Yeah, they're all flashing. Okay, I'm happy. So also showed up was some new relays. So I put a new relay on here, and I put a new relay on here, which are the two light pods. Now I just got to figure out which one of these wires goes into here, and then I'll hot wire it. I did get the new little thing like this, whatever that's called, circuit breaker, but I'm not going to put that on until such time as I figure out if the things are working or not. Okay, so in that box of stuff that showed up today, the blinker showed up. This is the what do you call that? That's the thing for the headlights. That's the one here that doesn't work. There's no continuity inside there. This one here does work. There is continuity inside it. And it's called Headlight number 7. Headlight motor circuit breaker. So on here, it's number 7 here. That NK, whoops, where am I pointing? Number 7 on the wiring diagram. This NK is brown with pink. I think that's right. Yeah, brown with pink. And it goes into number 6 and number 5, which are the circuit breakers. Right-hand relays. Headlamp, relay, headlamp, relay. The other end of it comes out over to here, this brown wire, and then it goes directly to the battery. So it doesn't even go through a fuse as far as I can tell. And the headlights don't go through a fuse either. I pulled the main fuse and the headlights still come on. So, I think that's right anyhow. Wait till I check because there's headlight fuses in there. So maybe I'll run it through a fused circuit. That would be a better idea. I'll double check that and see where I should run the circuit from. Anyway, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. I'm going to run that. So I've made this wire, this end here, it goes onto the circuit breaker and holds it. Set law. And it doesn't matter which way it goes, one way or the other. I don't think it matters. Wait, I'll show you this. So there, that's on there. And I've got the wire hooked up in there. That's the wire that goes to pink and brown. And I've got that other end goes into the circuit breaker, and that'll get tied up into the wiring loop there somehow or other and run back over to the other side. But wait till I check the fuses on the headlamps. So the headlamps, they get their power to the fuse and through the fuse. Yeah, so this circuit breaker has to be before the fuse. Okay, I can do that. Yeah, so there now, that's back together. And then when you check voltage on this pink and brown wire here, you check voltage, it's got 12 volts, give or take a bit. Now I'll check voltage on the other side over there on that other one where the pink and brown wire should also have 12 volts. I'll let you know. Yeah, so in here, you can see wires everywhere, not a drop to drink. Anyhow, down right there, there's a pink and brown wire that goes in the other side of this relay here, over here somewhere, right here, where my thumb is and you can't see it. There, you see the pink and brown? Yeah, more or less. Anyway, it's got 12 volts on it also, so it's good the way it comes. Now, I don't know what will happen when I turn on the lights. Now, likely the lights will turn on, but nothing else will happen. Yeah, headlights are on, right? Headlights are off. Headlights are on. I'll leave them on for a minute. See what happens if I... Now, earlier, when I turned this thing... Yeah, so there. Now I turned off the headlights. This side went down, that side stayed up. So I'll turn... This one here sort of works sometimes. Don't know why. There's no rhyme or reason to it. Rhyme and reason is somewhere out the door. So here you can just listen. So there it came up and on, right? Well, there it went down and off. Up and on. Down and off. Up and on. Down and off. Up and on. Down and off. Holy shit. What do you think about that? That's interesting. So maybe I'll take the relay that's on this side and put it over there for a bit and see what happens. There now, I've turned the relays around so that they're on the other sides. This side still works. Huh. So one side works and the other side doesn't work. That's very interesting. Well, that's good news. Well, there's news anyhow. I'm just going to check and make sure that well, it's up. Wonder why. I better just double check and see what's going on. Maybe it's all working. Maybe it works now. Who knows? I thought that side was down, but maybe not. No, it's still up. So here, I'm going to turn this one down, and I'll show you in a minute. Okay, now they're both down. Hang on, I'm going to just open up the hood. Yeah, there. I meant close the hood. So here I am. Turn on parking lights. Oh, parking lights are off now. On parking lights. That side goes up. That side goes down. Well, that's quite cool that side works, and I'm pretty sure it's not the relays because I've switched relays around everywhere you can go. So now this side here, so I'll take this pod out and see if I can make it work. Huh. Well, that's some progress. A bit of progress? Who knows, eh? So that pod there has to come out, and to go to that I have to sort of clean your bench, Lauren. It's time to clean off the bench. Well, that's quite good. I'm happy that there's another dent that I missed right there. Huh. Oh well, there's lots of dents that I missed back there too. Well, I didn't miss, it just, I did as best I could for that panel back there. I just didn't want to fill it up with Bondo is all. So there you go. Okay, now next is, what was I going to do? Lights are all working except for that pod. Isn't that cool? So the next thing to do is take this pod out and see if I can fix it. Then I'm going to see if I can get something hooked underneath that and bend that up a bit maybe. Because I think it's just bent. Oh, down here. Bend that up a bit. But not now. Yeah, so in here, take this off, and there's some electrical connections in there and a couple of transistors. I'll bet the transistors are okay. I bet there's just a bad connection there on, there's some electrical connectors underneath there that I'll take a look at. Anyhow, I'll see what I can get into. Yeah, so inside here now, so I checked continuity between this plate here and that connection there. And there's a spring-loaded connection there. It's supposed to connect. There was no continuity, so it's either dirty or out of alignment or something bad about it. So I put a piece of solder on there. It connects now. Now whether I'm right or wrong with that, who knows. Then I figured, well, this end here was connecting but sporadically, so I figured I'd just put a piece of solder on there too. The middle one seems to be okay. Now, as far as the transistors go, they're looking like it's dirty in there, but somebody was in there before, or it got hot one time. I think it got hot one time because it was likely arcing here, right? So, see what happens. Seems to be the right way now. Something got hot in there anyhow. Anyway, I'll put it back together and see if I get any action out of it. Yeah, now, here's something interesting. So, you turn on the headlights now, and that one is continuously up and down with that one plugged in. Now, hang on a second. Now, with both of them plugged in, this is what happens, right? Hang on. Now, with just this side plugged in, it's got normal action, the way it's supposed to work, right? I don't know if the lights come on over there. Yeah, the light comes on over there, but it's pointing down. Anyway. And then that one there seems to stop at that position. So, I guess something's out of whack. Might be a couple of turns out of whack. I don't know. I'll have to take it apart again and take it apart right to the gears and see what's happening in there. Yeah, now there the, so this little thing right here that you can see, I'll put a bit of oil on that because it wants to be. It goes along and presses up on that button there, and that releases energy there or here. So that's for up or down. So it goes to that turn and stops. So the trick is to have it so that it hits that turn at the right spot. So I wonder if I've got that in the wrong spot there. I'll find out. I'll check it out. I can put it together and see when it lifts when you do this, right? So it should lift somewhere along there. Anyway, I'll check it out. Yeah, there now I've pulled it all the way down, and that contact breaks at the right spot. So I'll run it, keep on turning it this way, right? And it should break that contact at the top of the run. And that should be correct, but I just think I had it a little bit wrong there. That should be breaking that contact right around there. I'll just take a look inside. So now I think I have it mostly solved. This one here, if you press the button, turn on the headlight, it goes to the down position with the headlight on. Then when you turn off the headlight, it goes halfway to the up position with the headlight off. So I think I've got it out by 180 degrees just on the handle there maybe. I'll turn it 180 degrees on the handle and see if that'll make it happier. Hang on, I'll try that first before I do anything else. Now it still stops halfway up, and when the headlights are on, it goes into hideaway with the headlight on. So I'm going to have to take that pod apart, and I'll take the other side out and compare them that they're both at the same place when they're up and down on the that pod over there seems to work right. So this one here is out by a number of degrees, and I think it goes up and down because they aren't synchronized. They got to be happy together. So anyhow, but I think it's getting somewhere close to being working. Maybe by tomorrow night I'll have pods working, and then that'll be good. We'll wait and see. Yeah, here I am. So that one there is halfway up. This one's all the way down. So the plan today, I'm going to get this one all the way up and leave it there and take them both out. And then I'll compare that to this when I have them out and make sure that the little mechanism is set up the same, because I think there's a problem with the mechanism. Yeah, so that's the passenger side out. But when I was pulling it out, I broke one of these wires. So what I'll do, this wire is kind of suspect. So I'm going to cut it back to about here, put a new piece on, and resolder this end onto it. And that should work, I hope. There now, that's fixed up better there now. Now I'll go ahead and take this stuff. Well, first I'll get that pod out. Have to twist it up all the way and get it out. Then and then I'll put it on beside this and take them both apart. Put stuff away before I lose it all, right? Anyway, there we go. I'll get at it. Yeah, so now here, upright position, this white thing should be here and that white thing should be there. And they've got timing marks on it here. So this white thing should just line up with that timing mark right there. So now it's my own damn fault because I had this one apart when I was taking it all apart. I had this one apart and I didn't pay attention to it, and I put it together in the wrong spot. So I'll put it together in the right spot and see if then make it work. But then while I have this apart, I notice that this side here could use some cleaning on that junction right there. So I might just put a drop of solder on top of that again because it seemed to help out these ones. Okay, there we go. Yeah, there now. This is pod number 2, I'll call it, the driver's side one, left-hand side. Pod number 1, I'll call it, passenger side. So the timing marks are there, it's full up. Timing marks are there, it's full up. Should be about right. We'll just see what happens when I put it back in. Yeah, so there now, I just put a little touch of solder on both those contacts right there, and then made sure that they still weren't stuck together. Hang on. So, made sure they weren't stuck together so that they're free from each other, and they indeed make contact, like when you touch this to here, well, anywhere here should be on, should be able to just put it in there, and touch this one to the wire. Gets contact across that, right? And then when it releases, it doesn't get contact across that. And the same in this end here. So, it's in the up position now, and the other side is working. So if they're synchronized, maybe it'll work together. Who knows? We'll see in a few minutes. Yeah, so I thought I had it all figured out, but limited success, let's say. They both go down, right? But then they start doing that business. So you get them both down again. Then they'll go up and go on. So, something is just slightly out of sync on them. You see one coming up ahead of the other one. So when they both come up together, they're good. If they get out of sync, they don't like it. I wonder if I've got one cog off on the damn things. On the timing of them. Could be. Could be, I'll live with it. Kind of cute, eh? Anyway, I can get them to come on, so that's good. I'll just think about that for a while. Maybe somebody out there knows something about these things. I'm not going to dick with them anymore today. Yeah, so now I notice that they aren't stopping right at the top. So maybe I'm out by a cog on each one of them and they're just not happy about being not timed quite right. So I'll take them out once more and see if I can sort that out. Yeah, so now I've just taken one side out. I won't take both sides out. I'll take this one out, set the timing slightly different, put it back in, see what happens. Yeah, so one of the problems besides wiring and stuff was this thing here. There's a, like it's supposed to sit one way, but the whole thing had got rounded out, and not really rounded out in such a way that but the metal had fatigued and come out, pushed out this way and this way. So I took it to the anvil and I gave it a good hammer to make it flat again, and that gave it back its shape. And then I'll put this thing back on it, and maybe it'll work now and hold tight, because it was letting go before. And that's a stopper. Yeah, so I spend a whole days and days and days, but finally, oh, damn. It worked for a minute till I put it on the movies, right? So what's happening is this side here is coming out of the sync position. Now I'll have to do I need to do something about that, I guess. I don't really know how to make that right. But I'll think about it a bit here. So as long as it stays in its position, it's okay. But as soon as it gets out of position, then it starts going all wonky. So I'll let it be for now, because I know what the problem is, at least. And I I'll think about how to fix it. I might have to get that little piece of metal. What I might do is, I'll think about it. Might have to do a little bit of welding on that little piece of metal that holds the the axle there. But I can do that without taking the damn thing off the car. Anyhow, I'll just think about it here. Yeah, so there's the little piece. Wait, no. Yeah, it's on the floor now. Okay. Anyhow, there's what it looks like, right? Then this hole at the end here, it goes on a shaft on that drives the headlight up and down, and you can see that it's got rounded out there. Now I tried to flatten it out on the anvil, but that didn't quite do it enough, so I'll just put a little bit of weld in there and a little bit of weld on the other side, see if I can make it flat again somehow or other. Between welder and a Dremel tool, might be able to make it happen. Yeah, there, so I welded in a bit of metal on each side of it there, like you can see there and there. Now I'll take a Dremel tool and see if I can flatten that out so that it's supposed to be square on one side and round on the other side, but see if I can make it so it'll work in there. There, now this time I won't say success until you see it, hey? Oh no, there you go again, hey? Yeah, they go up and they go down, but they don't quite run. When they go in sync like that, they're fine. But if one gets a bit behind the other, then they start doing that. So you just got to shut them all down. And then that's up. Now, I think that's as good as it's going to get, because I think they're, 40-year-old things, right? For the most part, they seem to work. They're like, they get off like that. Then you can sort it out. But at least they go up and down. Anyway, there you go. Interesting world this is. What I did, well, you saw that. I went and I tightened that other bolt on there. So I think that they're just not quite 100% in sync, and so you just gotta be patient with them. There you go. Anyway, that's all for today. It's been a whole day sorting them out, but I am a little bit pleased that they run, and I'll think about it. If anybody knows about what to do about it, let me know. But, because I don't think I can figure out any more than what I got figured out. So, thanks. See you later. Yeah, here I am. I'm back. I'm not going to go any farther with the headlights for now. I'll think about that for a little bit. Now, the next thing I have to do is start cleaning up inside here, I think, and what have I got done? I forget. Been a few days since I was here, right? And where was I? Oh, where was he, you say? Why wasn't he working? Well, here. I went over to Nova Scotia for yesterday. And there, I've got that thing there hooked onto my tractor. Brand new mower. 60-inch wood bush mower, or whatever they call those things. Bush hog. It's a brush hog, this one, by Woods. Seems to work pretty good. I got it hooked up and tried it out last night, and seems to go. Cuts, does what it's supposed to do. The bushes trimmed down. Got a lot more to do, so I'll get to there. Here the supervisor is here, and what are you doing in here today? Oh, doesn't like to be stuck in here. Okay, now back to here. What was I going to do? I think it's time to start putting the stuff into the interior here, like I can cut a piece of that. Well, I've got to find these things that go over here. I know where they are, I've seen them. And I'll put them into place. Then these things here get covered up with vinyl, which I have right up there. Somewhere, yeah, right there. It's called flex tape. It's vinyl stuff. It's got tape on the back of vinyl. What do you know? And I think, yeah, this part here gets, like that part over there, that gets covered with vinyl. And then all these little holes down along the inside there, they all get, like, can you see those holes? They're like holes in the body that were there from the manufacturer. And turn on some light here maybe and you can see it. Yeah, light's on. Can't really see. Anyhow, but down on this side here, there's one of the holes. Right there and one there. And they just get covered up with that vinyl stuff also. That just seals the air out. I imagine they were originally put in there to reduce the weight of the car. So I'll get these things. I know where they're sitting. I saw them the other day. And put them in. I'll put the covering. I'll put the vinyl stuff around. I'll put the covering on here. Put a new cover on there. And then carry on. Yeah, here's the two things. Now they could use a bit of time in the rust remover bucket, so that's where they go for a while. I'll just let them soak in there for a little while, maybe overnight, get to them tomorrow. In the meantime, I did get a new set of horns. Now one piece came slightly broken. I think I can just fix that. See what the other one looks like. The other one, not broken. One's a high note, one's a low note. So, I don't know which wire is which on this, whether it matters what way they go. I'll hook it onto the battery and see what happens. Yeah, there, it doesn't seem to matter which way you put it, like positive to negative on those two. As long as one of them's positive and the other one's negative, it's a happy system. And it's loud. So, I'll see what I can do about getting it in the car. It goes, this one here, goes right here. That's pretty simple. But it didn't have, from the factory, it didn't have, oh, what do you call that thing? What's going on here? Sometimes this machine just won't run for me. There. From the factory, it didn't have the, it only had one wire going to it. And then this was a ground on there. So, what I'll do is I'll run a little ground from one of those wires to this. And that'll make that, that'll be a happy system then. Okay, I'll do that. Yeah, so there's one light in. That's the electrical connection back there. And, or not light, what's that, a horn. Yeah, and there's the other horn in. Right there. So now, excuse me. So now I'll just go ahead and let it down and see if they make noise. See what happens. Yeah, now, so here, we'll just find out. Here's the horn button. Boy, oh boy, that works, doesn't it? That's plenty of horn. If that doesn't stop you in your feet, in your tracks, then nothing will. It's got somebody had put air horns in underneath there, so, but with this horn here, I gotta take those air horns out and just, well, put them in the boat or something, right? See what happens. Yeah, there now, I've covered up the holes. There's one there, another one about there somewhere, two along there, one up there, one down there, and oh, I missed one. I gotta do another one over there, and I missed the second one. Two of them I missed over there. And that's just like this stuff here. It just comes in a roll called flex tape, and boy, is it ever sticky on the back. And you just cut a piece, put it on, and you're done. So they had fabric tape over them to begin with, and now I just put that tape back over them to seal them off so that the air doesn't come through, and Or it keeps air inside here, I guess. Who knows? Yeah, there. It's, well, that's pretty well it for this week, hey? I got these things working, sort of. All the lights work, the horn works, the blinkers work, everything works. And I've got these holes that are along there all plugged up, and then I fixed the wiring harness for the back along the side there so that it's up out of the way. And then I'll have to put this other one along here somewhere. This thing goes to the seat belt thing in the seat. Anyhow, now that's pretty well it for this week, being as it's Friday. So I hope you've enjoyed it. A little bit shorter this week, I think. Who knows how long it is? Sometimes I drone on, hey? But a little bit shorter this week, I think, and all about lights again. But I think, in fact, I understand how they work, and I think that they will work in the future sometime. I'll make sure that they do. Anyway, there we go. See you next week.